don't know the power of a phenom.
What's good with y'all, man? Hey, you already know if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like, drop that sub, turn them notice, because we do a video daily. So you guys wanted me to give my reaction to the Acolyte being canceled. And then also we got the Backlash with it being canceled. So I figured I'd just do a 2-in-1 video. So my thoughts on the Acolyte being canceled, honestly, I'm not surprised. Coming from a casual Star Wars fan, talking about myself, the series was pretty lackluster, if I'm being honest. It really wasn't that good. The characters were boring. Honestly, the only episode that sticks out to me was episode 5, which I still think is the best episode. With all the lightsaber fighting, episode was fire. I like that episode. But other than that, the only other episode that sticks out was the other episode where we seen it twice. Pretty much, we just seen it from a different perspective. I thought that was just so dumb because they added like a few scenes in that we didn't see. We pretty much watched the same damn episode. But yeah, man. Honestly, I'm not surprised that it got canceled. Casual Star Wars fan, it really wasn't that good. Definitely not on the Mandalorian level. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. But let's go ahead and jump into this this Backlash reaction by Star Wars Theory. He's the most loved Star Wars fan on YouTube, so if you don't know who he is, go check him out. I watch his content from time to time. Let's go ahead and jump into it, though. Let's get it.
Yeah, here's another. What if the Acolyte was just bad? If people like me and YouTubers and whatnot have the power to cancel a show, then don't we have the power to make shows as well?
Yeah.
All right, well, where's
That's
my
true.
Darth Vader show? Why wasn't the Kenobi show done well? Why are there so many problems in Star Wars? What happened with the Boba Fett show? Right, so if we have the power to destroy something, we have the power to make something too, but clearly that's not the case. It's all about numbers, and many of us were told not to watch the show because, hey, if you don't like it, don't watch it. It's exactly what we did. You know what? Now it's canceled.
Fulfill your destiny.
That's true. You can't tell people to don't watch it.
FuelSabers.com.
Ooh, yeah, this, the aftermath always gets interesting. You never really know what you get with it, but I'm here to talk about something on both sides of the fandom. I don't really want to drag this on too long, but, I have something to say on both sides. On the first side, people like myself who absolutely despise the Acolyte, think it's quite possibly the most horrible, poorly written project show that's ever come out in history, especially for Star Wars. I have to say that, yeah, I'm happy that this is no longer getting a season 2, but I guess I'm a grifter and I just want to talk about how bad it is, so wouldn't I want a season 2 if that's the case? Anyways, continuing on to the main subject here. I see a lot of people that are doing the same thing that happened with the prequel trilogy. They are just going after the actors. And listen, I don't like Leslie Headland. I don't like Amanda Stenberg. She's been calling fans racist for a while. She just released that stupid rap video that was horrible and just literally calling anybody who didn't like the Acolyte a racist. I think that kind of behavior is just so...
Now, hold on. The lady is attacking the fans? You can't do that. I didn't even know that. Wow.
P-minded and so ridiculous. And it's honestly just like the weakest scapegoat that at this point it's losing any sort of value when you say that to someone, because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's just your argument again. Okay, cool, you're pulling that. And even so, I'd really like to say, hey, I think the best way is to not repeat the past, what they did with Hayden and Ahmed and the prequel trilogy. Even though those guys never attacked fans, even though those guys weren't assholes to fans, they had no part and they were just actors. Right, they were doing their job. The same goes here. I'd say leave the actors out of it. If you really want to express your anger, I would express it towards the writing of this show. Not necessarily the people behind it, but how shitty the writing is, how they've interjected so much garbage and politics and agendas, how the writing for the characters in and of themselves, even outside of Star Wars, was horrible. How the set design, the costumes, all that stuff, go into detail on how trash that was. That, I think, is a much better argument. Because here's what it does. When you go after the actors and you get ugly like that, it does two things. First of all, it's not very nice. Yeah. Okay, so two wrongs don't make a right. When they're doing it to us, it's two wrongs don't make a right. An eye for an eye makes the world blind. The second thing is that it just allows for an easy way out for the people who are looking, because they know you're spitting facts. They know you have points against the show, and whether they want to defend it or not, they're going to completely disregard any facts you might have and your argument towards the lore of the show or within Star Wars, and be like, oh, see what he's doing? He said this and this and this. Cancel him. Or she said that and that and that. against the actors. They're a horrible person, and it completely derails. So first of all, it's not very nice. You know, don't have to stoop to their level when they're doing it, when the actors are doing it. And second of all, and most times not, I don't feel like many of them do, but some who do, or yeah, they're assholes, and I don't like them. But I also don't think that it's best to just go after them. Just, you know, a dog's barking at you, let the dog bark, whatever.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think it's best that if you really want to get on this show, just make it be known that, hey, yeah, this is garbage because of these reasons, and give your reasons. That's why I say always eloquently give your reasons, man. Respectfully give your reasons, because it's just a much more elite way of going about things, and it gets your point across. There's no derailment whatsoever. I always remembered this when I was a kid. An eye for an eye makes the world blind. And you know, Gandhi said that, and I believe it, because there have been many times in my life where I've just constantly like kind of stooped to the same level because I was hurt or I was feeling pain, and I just ended up doing the same thing back. And it's just this cycle, man. If you just cut the cycle and get to facts, get to points. So that's that. You know, leave the actors out of it, even though some of them are complete assholes. I agree. They're not very nice to fans. But let them wallow in their own pity. Let them be in that mindset. And that's very sad for them. Maybe one day they'll progress in this life and they'll...
Now, do you guys know which actors are being talked about right here? Because I'm not sure which actors are being talked about saying that they're assholes and they don't treat fans right. I have no idea. I have no knowledge of which actors are being talked about right now. So if you guys know, let me know in the comments, okay? Thank you.
Try to understand, hey, you know what, maybe the show's just shit, maybe I could have handled things a little bit better, maybe I didn't have to attack fans. Absolutely there are racist fans and there are assholes and all that out there on every side of the fandom, every side of life, every walk of life, but that doesn't mean that that's the majority. There are weird people, crazy people everywhere. Now, on the other side of this video, I also want to talk about the absolute psychopaths who are in love with this show and writing things like, anyone who is happy about this, I wish your family death, I hope you die, terrible. I'm sending a curse on you. I'm seeing a lot of that on Twitter, on X, and I just really think that that is just ridiculous. This is one, for example, that popped up, me in the Disney headquarters after they canceled The Acolyte, even though it was actually very popular. I can assume that this is a joke, but it's just not funny when you're talking about walking into a headquarters, walking into a place of business, walking to anywhere, and pointing a gun at people because you didn't like how they handled your media. That is...
Especially with the world we are living in today, it is really, like, it's not good at all, but the way the world is right now, how the world is in shambles, joking like this is really not cool, honestly. Like, we're in a bad... As a world in whole, man, we're in a bad shape right now. So joking like this is not good. And it's over a TV show, man. Come on. Because at the end of the day, only way the show's going to get made is if it's producing the numbers, the money, and etc. One of my favorite sayings is, men lie, women lie, numbers do not lie. Well, the numbers aren't lying for The Acolyte, and that's why I got canceled. So...
just unhinged. And I've seen so many different things. I'm trying to find the freaking tweet. I didn't engage with it whatsoever, otherwise I could have found it. But I just thought it was like horrible that these people are just so full of hatred for anybody who did not like this show that they want to now go and kill anyone who is happy about the canceling of this show. Look at this one, for example. The Acolyte being canceled is just another example of toxic internet hate. The show never got a chance to breathe, and half the people hating on it never even watched an episode. It's not my favorite piece of Star Wars content, but it certainly didn't deserve to be axed. Well, it doesn't matter what deserves or doesn't deserve to be axed in your eyes. For Disney, it's all about money. It's all about views. If something is not profitable, they're not going to spend another $180 to $200 million of their money on something that makes no return. This was a dump for them. This wasted their money. They're going to write it off most likely, I don't know, I assume. But they're not going to go and renew this for a season 2. They'd be insane. It was the worst rated, worst watched show for Star Wars in history. I mean, when you're sitting at you're a boardroom executive and you're handling the finances and you're handling, you know, where does this company go next? Are we going to dump our cash into something that really isn't going to give us any sort of return? Seriously. Not only that, but it's also going to destroy our fan base and alienate them, so they won't even come back for other things like merchandise or supporting some of the other shows and movies that come out because they're done. It's not even like you release a bad project once. You literally piss people off and alienate them. That's really bad. And you're spending money to do that. Holy crap, that's That's horrible. That's suicide. Company suicide, essentially. And if I'm not wrong, it was all of the Acolyte fans who encouraged everyone who talked poorly about the show to not watch. And that's literally what happened. People literally took the advice from Acolyte fans who said, don't watch the show if you don't like it, and now the show is canceled because they didn't watch.
And from my understanding, the majority of real Star Wars fans, I'm talking like the real Star Wars fans, they did not watch The Acolyte, and The Acolyte got canceled. I watched it just because I'm a casual and I wanted to. From the trailers you guys saw when we react to it, I was like, oh, okay, this looks kind of good, but it was definitely a letdown compared to the trailers. But man, let me tell you, when you have a majority of the fan base telling you that it's not good, and then you tell them don't watch it, yeah, I don't know what you expect to happen. That's crazy.
Because they didn't like it. It almost seems like we're living in some sort of a weird dictatorship where if you don't get what you want, then you should have been made to sit in front of the TV and watch it for this show. And I have a real problem with that. Like, look, like this tweet, man. It got a freaking 1 million views. That's crazy. Remember, the critics had nothing to do with the cancellation of The Acolyte. Only analytics, metrics, corporate interests, and most of all, viewership did. Okay. The show failed because it betrayed the brand and put an agenda before legacy, characters, and sincere storytelling. Yep. Absolutely true. They had a show that was really poorly written. It didn't go anywhere. The characters were unbelievably ridiculous. Not only that, but they jangled keys like Plagueis and Yoda, Ki-Adi-Mundi. They shouldn't have ever done such a thing. They then...
Hey, remember all that episode where Plagueis showed up? I didn't know that was him. But why was he, like, they literally had him in the corner in the shadows like a weirdo. Like, he was literally looking like a weirdo creep just in the shadows, just staring. You would think that'd be like somebody similar to somebody in a white van with some candy. And you're just like, what the hell? Like, when I seen that, I was like, why would they have him like that, just in the corner hiding, like, with his little fingertips coming out? I'm like, what the heck is going on, man?
He went in and destroyed a whole bunch of canon from George Lucas, where he said Sith weren't supposed to show up for 1,000 years. And all of a sudden, now we're supposed to make logic of this. And this is supposed to be okay. Wow, these tweets are pretty bad, man. 4 years ago, Leslie Headland deleted 250 tweets bashing white men the day before Disney announced her show. She hired writers that would never even seen Star Wars, a fake Trekkie, and she'd make The Acolyte woke. Lizzie Headland's failure is now complete. You want to read some of those comments to her tweets, which are now unavailable? Go ahead. Damn, it seems like Amanda Stenberg's diss track actually damaged The Acolyte's reputation with audiences. Hollywood knows attacking the fans hurts them. They just can't resist it. It was an easy target, in quotes, said one source of the back and forth's connection to the show's cancellation, and hurt the public perception of the show. It definitely did. I mean, when you do something like that, you know, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that are racist, and, you know, it's horrible that we still live in a time where that exists, and homophobes exist, and all of that, sexism and all this shit exists. But at the same time, that's not everybody, right? That's a minority, I would feel like. I think most people just judge you on where based on you being a nice person or not. The Acolyte wasn't canceled because it's woke or because of incels. It was canceled because of the lowest viewed Star Wars show in Disney Plus, and it cost a fortune to make. Absolutely right. Here's another. What if The Acolyte was just bad? If people like me and YouTubers and whatnot have the power to cancel a show, then don't we have the power to make shows as well? All right, well, where's my Darth Vader show? Why wasn't the Kenobi show done well? Why are there so many problems in Star Wars? What happened with the Boba Fett show? Right, so if we have the power to destroy something, we have the power to make something too, but clearly that's not the case. It's all about numbers, and many of us were told not to watch the show because, hey, if you don't like it, don't watch it. It's exactly what we did. You know what? Now it's canceled. Yeah, I've seen tons of this. I love how people are blaming toxic Star Wars fans for The Acolyte being canceled when the final episode of the series was the reportedly lowest viewed of any Star Wars show. Again, man, just look at the views. Look at the audience score here, 18%, and the tomato meter. And you know you can't trust the tomato meter. 50 people or 100 people, 300 people voted on the tomato meter, and then this is in the 10,000s, maybe even more. It's just ridiculous shite like this. Star Wars content has been the same boring blaster pew pew media for years, and we finally get a show diving into Jedi Sith lore, and y'all get it canceled because the lead isn't a white man. No, it's because the show was shit and poorly written. I mean, seriously. Ahsoka, for example.
Like, I don't understand how some people think, but like the saying goes, common sense isn't so common. literally the best characters on the Acolyte was Smilo Ren and what's his name? The Jedi who was chasing after the twins. I can't remember his name. Dang, the show was so bad I don't even remember people's names. Dang, but he died. He died by Smilo Ren. Or no, he died by the girl because she found out that he essentially lied and all that. She killed him. But that guy. I think those was the most two interesting characters on the show, honestly. And Smilo Ren was definitely number one, the most interesting character, which they probably should have based the show around anyways. Let's go ahead and jump back into it.
So that got a season 2. The Kenobi show. Lead was, well, 2 white men. Wow. You know what, actually, I don't even think Kenobi was the lead in his own show. I think it was Reva. So, hey, even there you go. Really me that one. So, I mean, just scrolling under this one, there's just a few here that I found. Check it out. F. Disney, F. Lucasfilm, F. Dave Filoni, F. Jon Favreau, Kathleen Kennedy. It's just...
It's a whole lot of S, man.
Didn't see my name in there. F. Star Wars Theory, F. Incels, F. Grogu, F. All of you. Well, that's wild. I'm never...
And see, he said that's wild. And one thing with the internet, man, is when you have people commenting things like that, those type of people are truly unhappy in life. Because I will say this, man, when you are a happy person, when you are truly happy... You do not get on the internet and you do not try to bring other people down. You just don't. When somebody elevates to a level so low, that just shows their character and where they are at spiritually and where they are at in life. And the only thing you can do is pray for them. Because at the end of the day, man, I honestly feel bad for people like that because that's how they get on. They try to make other people feel bad so they can feel better for themselves. But that's not gonna work in the end. That's just not how it happens. But yeah, pray for them.
For going to effing go to bat for Star Wars again. Absolutely atrocious when this show was going viral every single day on here and had multiple renew campaigns by the fans. They've shown where their priorities lie, and it's in continually catering to a crowd of toxic incels. Fully disagree with this. Their priorities aren't to cater to any side of the fandom. Their priority is in their pockets. Whatever makes them more money, they're going to go for that. And so far, they've thought catering to one side of the fandom, people who like The Acolyte, people who like hit shows like Kenobi, and Book of Boba Fett, and that kind of writing is what they've been trying to cater to. Then, when they try to cater to good storytelling, they get shows like The Mandalorian, which pretty much all across the board, except for Season 3, brought Star Wars up. And that's really what they need to be focusing on, is catering to a good story, and not any side of the fandom or even their pockets. When you detach yourself from the outcome of anything is when you do the best you can. The Acolyte being canceled makes me want to wage war on everything that white boys love. They couldn't let the series exist without war on it, so the movies and shows they like deserve the same treatment. Yeah, that's already happened to a lot of people by getting The Acolyte. That's like punishment enough. And the Kenobi show, which had our 2 most favorite characters, Anakin and Obi-Wan in there, and Darth Vader, and they just shat the bed on that. And then Book of Boba Fett. I mean, they ruined Boba Fett as well. It's like the annihilation of every male character, essentially. Look at it. Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, Darth Vader makes stupid decisions, can't even go around a fire, for example. Mandalorian gets sidelined pretty much in his own show as well in Season 3. And then with The Acolyte, it's like, you had Soul, which was, in the beginning, kind of a compelling character, and then he just withered into nothing and died. And that was also his fault. He couldn't just let her kill him, murder him for nothing. They had to have him not say it's okay as she's murdering him so that she could have that moment. He didn't let her have that moment, according to Leslie Headland in an interview. It's wild to me, man. It's wild. Anyways, there's a crap ton more like this out there, and if you come across any more, tweet them at me, let me know. I don't check Twitter very often. I kind of just upload my stuff and I bounce, and I don't really engage in much back and forths. I used to, but I just got too much going on right now with the Sabres, and I'm really trying to grow that company, and there's so much that needs to be handled for it. It is growing astronomically, so my focus is on that. My focus is on making videos and also growing Comic Theory, which is my comic book channel that I run with my friend Nick, and just having fun making content. So if you guys see anything, feel free to tag me. No promises, I'll respond. But if you want the cliff notes for this video, you know, I think that we shouldn't be attacking actors, and I also think that we shouldn't be attacking anyone who dislikes or likes the show. The show didn't get renewed, and that is out of every one of our hands, and only in the real power at Disney, which is those boardroom executives. And those are the ones that call the shots and green light shows. Not even Leslie Headland has that power. It's really up to them. It's not up to us. Not enough people watch the show, and that's a direct indication of the show not being liked. Not being Star Wars, and therefore not getting renewed for a season 2 at $180 million plus. Hope you all have a great day. Be respectful to everyone out there. And if you don't like something, always just say your points, speak your mind, and be eloquent, you know? Be classy. James Bond style. As much as you can. Sometimes some people need a good F off. Just leave the actors out of it, and for the most part, just get your points across by the poor writing of the show. Love you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. May the Force be with you, always.
Yeah, so it's, you know, the internet is a crazy place, man. I'll end on this. We all got different opinions. That's what makes us great as humans, because we all have different opinions. But when you get on the internet and you start attacking people because the show got canceled, really, it's just sad, man. And them type of people, you gotta pray for them. It's funny because back in the day, I actually used to engage with them type of people on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. But you know, once you grow to a certain mentality, you just start to block them. You just ignore them, because all they're trying to do is make you mad and ruin your day. And if they ruin your day, then they just made themselves happy. So you just gotta ignore them and go on, because when somebody, like I said earlier, if somebody is trying to insult you and ruin your day, that shows you where they're at with their character, and where they are spiritually, and where they are at in their life, and it's not a good place. And the only thing you can do is pray for them. So I just ignore them for the most part. Now sometimes when I am streaming, you know, I do engage with them. I'm not gonna lie, I be doing it just to troll and to be funny, but I don't know. Sometimes it gets the best of me because it does come out. But for the most part, if I'm giving y'all advice, man, yeah, definitely ignore them people, man, because all they're trying to do is ruin your day. That's all they're trying to do. And if they ruin your day, that's gonna make their day happy, which is a sad thing. So yeah, just ignore, man. Push forward and just keep going. But yeah, man, the Acolyte just wasn't good. It just wasn't good. And like I said, man, it comes down to numbers. Men lie, women lie. Numbers do not lie. That's why the show got canceled. So yeah, man. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought. If you enjoyed my reaction, make sure you hit that like, drop that sub. Turn the little noties, alright? Because we do a video daily. Catch you guys in the next one. 100,000 subscribers, subscribe time. Let's go.